Sarasota City Commissioners make final decisions on beach renourishment and an internal investigation. Plus, the death toll continues to rise from Florence. How you can help victims who are rebuilding. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening. New tonight, Lido Beach renourishment is on its way. Tonight, City Commissioners approved a $4 million project that would serve as a quick temporary fix to the eroding shoreline. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick joins us live to explain when that sand is coming and where it's coming from. Jess?
Jacqueline, the city of Sarasota is expediting this short-term fix while they wait for approval for a more permanent solution. As soon as November, 185,000 cubic yards of sand will be taken from New Pass and added to the Lido Beach shoreline. The bids were just received today, and already commissioners have unanimously approved the $4 million project. It'll take about 90 days for the contractor to line the entire Lido Beach shoreline with several feet of sand, with a start date scheduled for November 15th. Funding-wise, the money will come from the city budget along with some county dollars and money from FEMA. The city's plan for a long-term fix is dredging Big Pass, a decision that has turned into a legal battle. However, the city has now received a permit to move forward with that project as well. In the meantime, this 185 cubic yards of sand will come from New Pass.
So the project also includes bird monitors and turtle monitors, although of course we don't have a lot of beach for a lot of nesting at this point in time. They do inspect the beach regularly to make sure, that if anything needs to be relocated or the contractor needs to be have their schedule adjusted, we have that.
Also at tonight's meeting, city commissioners decided to hire a private investigator to look into claims that city auditor and clerk Pamela Natalini has harassed and verbally abused her employees. The city voted unanimously to spend $30,000 on the investigation. Meanwhile, a formal complaint has been filed with the EEOC, or Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, accusing Natalini of being discriminatory. Commissioners have decided to keep these investigations separate. The city attorney will investigate the discrimination claims, while the private investigator will look into Natalini's treatment of employees.
We want the community to know that certainly we take the allegations of our employees seriously, and it's something that we can't ignore. And if there's nothing there, that's great. And if there is, then we want to know what corrective action we can take.
The EEOC claim is sealed, so it's unclear whether or not this is a current or former employee that are making these accusations, and also what those allegations are at this point in time. Reporting live in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Jess, thank you. The city of Sarasota has changed a city ordinance in what appears to be an effort to get more affordable housing. Tonight, city commissioners voted to allow developers to reapply for site plan approval without paying additional fees if that application is filed within a year of the original application. This comes after Harvey Vengroff, a developer well known for building affordable housing, called it quits on a project back in July after Vengroff claimed the city made it too difficult to build affordable homes. The complex, tentatively planned for Fruitville Road, would have around 400 apartments priced at around $700 or $800 a month.
There's just no apartments available for people. I don't have any. I've got 2,000 apartments and I don't have any empties. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, business shouldn't be that good. State of Washington.
This ordinance change saves Vengroff nearly $30,000. Well, let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at your first alert forecast. Bob?
Some late night thunderstorms around right now, and those are pushing off to the northwest into South Sarasota County, western portions of Charlotte County. Rain's been pretty heavy, quite a light show too going on down there. Not much in Manatee, although we have a few showers starting to pop up. This is all going to be moving to the northwest, so expect some showers and storms to linger, I would say, because there's so much heat in the atmosphere still as a result of lack of rainfall that we saw earlier this afternoon, or we didn't see. Now we're getting some showers and stuff, some heavier showers right near Inglewood, near Grove City. Also just to the northwest of Tarpon Point, Warm Mineral Springs. Northport, you had your fair share, and now that is winding down. Down to street level we go. You can see some of that rainfall now. Again, South River Road down near Inglewood, also stretching out toward Minnesota Key Road. All that is going to continue to move off to the northwest. Although that storm is weakening somewhat, this can pick up as it moves off to the northwest near Hidden River and also near Mayaca City. A few showers near Mayaca Head near Duet, that little lingering line of showers and storms. Indication that we're starting to see southeasterly wind flow, which is better news for the red tide, although we will still see west wind in the afternoon with the sea breeze developing. And what's left of Florence, the remnant low continues to cause problems tonight with some heavy weather earlier into Richmond, Virginia, where they saw a tornado touchdown there. You can see some rainfall into Pennsylvania, now stretching up to New York. Elsewhere in the tropics, all is quiet for right now. It's pretty quiet out there. We have been watching this little area of disturbed weather bringing heavy rainfall now to Jamaica and the eastern tip of Cuba. It pushes to the west. There's no chance of it developing, and we'll keep an eye on it. It will stay to our south and make its way toward the Gulf of Mexico. Well, more in the tropics and our weather coming up in a few minutes. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, we'll talk to you soon. A widespread emergency across the Carolinas tonight. 32 people now confirmed dead because of Florence in the aftermath of that storm. Roads are now rivers as floodwaters rise. Take a look at this aerial footage of I-40. That's a major highway in Lumberton, North Carolina that now looks just like a river. And landslides are becoming a hazard to drivers on the road. Look at this aerial footage of Highway 145. Not underwater anymore, but parts of it washed away near Anson County, North Carolina. And this semi-truck also a victim to a washed away road near Chesterfield, South Carolina. You can see a part of that truck stuck in a ditch that used to be a road. Well, volunteers here on the Suncoast say they know firsthand how hurricanes can impact a community and are paying it forward to help victims of Florence. The local branch of the American Patriots 3% group plans to begin their trip to the Carolinas next week to deliver toiletries, non-perishable food, and cleaning supplies. Local volunteers will start the 700-mile drive to North Carolina next Monday to drop off the supplies to areas in need.
These are our neighbors, they're Americans, they're our friends, they're our family.
As Floridians, I think we really understand what they're going through.
There are drop-off locations throughout the Suncoast. Donations can be dropped off at Crunch Fitness on Bee Ridge in Sarasota, Buccaneer Pawn Shop in Bradenton, and Louis Venue and Banquet Hall in Arcadia. We'll have more on the aftermath of Florence later in the show, but new at 11, a Sarasota man has pled guilty to the largest explosives seizure in Florida. Mark Jason Levine is facing a maximum of 20 years in federal prison after admitting to 2 counts of possession of explosives by a convicted felon. Based on Levine's multiple prior drug convictions, he was not allowed to own or sell any explosive materials. In the past 2 years, however, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives and the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office confiscated various explosives from a shed behind his home. The ATF says Levine was selling fuses online through a website dedicated to explosives. He was also keeping a storage unit full of explosives at a facility in Sarasota. During the searches, law enforcement seized more than 7,000 pounds of explosive fuses and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. His sentencing is set for December 12th. Neighbors and witnesses to a fatal crash on State Road 64 Saturday are outraged. Tonight, they're demanding safety improvements to the intersection they say was deadly long before the 2 teenagers lost their lives. 17-year-old Chase Coyner and 15-year-old Matthew Powers were killed after Florida Highway Patrol says Coyner turned onto Pope Road directly into the path of an oncoming truck. Both people in that truck were thrown out. One, a 12-year-old girl named Ayla, remains in critical condition tonight. Witnesses say there was no way for Chase Coyner to see the oncoming traffic as he tried to turn left onto Pope Road.
If you're in that turning lane, even if you're the first car, if there's cars in the other turning lane headed north, you cannot see oncoming traffic.
FDOT says it's installed a white median to help with traffic flow. They say in the year before it, there were 19 crashes. In the 6 months it's been there have only been 5. They also plan to build a roundabout there in the next few years. Florida Highway Patrol investigating a fatal car crash in Manatee County tonight. Sean Napoleon from Tampa was killed after Edwin Rios lost control of his car and started driving in the wrong direction. Rios did not suffer any injuries. Today's lunch break was cut short for a tractor driver after his machine caught fire. Fire crews responded to a tractor fire in Venice this afternoon after the man operating the equipment noticed flames. It all happened at Jacaranda Boulevard and Border Road. According to the Venice Fire Department, the man was eating lunch when he saw flames coming from the tractor. Fire crews were called and extinguished the flames, but the tractor was a total loss, estimated to cost about $35,000. Luckily, no one was injured in that fire. Navigating your Suncoast commute just became a whole lot easier. A new website allows anyone to view traffic in real time by going online before you head out the door. The site shows video footage of main roads and intersections from Parrish all the way down to Northport. Along with watching in real time, the site shows tweets about road conditions and also gives accident updates.
If you want to see perhaps maybe an incident has changed, for example, there was an accident this morning on the Skyway, so there was real-time information about when that was cleared up and it was reopened.
Manatee County says the goal of this project was to help people avoid the traffic issues they face on a day-to-day basis by knowing which hours are the best to travel along the Suncoast. A link to that website can be found on mysuncoast.com. Stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, Governor Rick Scott making a campaign stop today in Venice. Why protesters blame him for this year's red tide outbreak. And how would you like to see the dark side of the moon? One private citizen may get that chance.
Addiction is a dark place. But just as each new day breaks, there's light. A light that illuminates the people by your side. Out of the darkness, you are walking with 22 million others struggling with addiction. The cure to darkness is light. The cure to stigma is love. And the cure to disease is treatment. Join us as we walk into the dawn of a new day. Together, we are stronger than addiction. Learn more at chatterproof.org.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP is the largest locally owned CPAP supply company in the area. Is it time to replace your old equipment? The staff at Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP can show you the most up-to-date CPAP equipment and supplies to meet your sleep apnea needs, including portable travel devices and the SoClean automatic CPAP sanitizer. We serve all of Southwest Florida, giving the highest quality of care with the finest CPAP equipment. Please visit our website, sarasotacpap.com.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Growing up, my mom was afraid of the water, something she did not want me to feel.
So I enrolled Missy in swim lessons.
It changed my life.
Missy Franklin.
And now you can do the same for someone that you love.
There's nothing more precious than your child's well-being.
So act now before it's too late.
Make us fly! I'm glad I did.
Thanks, Mom. Visit usaswimmingfoundation.org to find, get, or give a swim lesson.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. Find out first at 4 with ABC7 News at 4, weekdays on ABC7.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Politics collided with red tide today in Venice, where Governor Rick Scott came face-to-face with protesters who say he is not doing enough to fix the algae problem. The governor was making his second stop on his campaign for U.S. Senate at a Cuban restaurant in Venice. Protesters were chanting and holding up signs with many different sayings about red tide in Florida. These Suncoast residents say Governor Rick Scott is to blame for this year's conditions because he failed to put regulations on pollution.
This is our paradise. I don't know where he's living up, wherever. You know, it's just, we need answers and we need someone to help us.
The protest chants from outside caused Governor Rick Scott to cut short his appearance before leaving the restaurant through a back door. Well, and speaking of red tide, Bob, not the best conditions. They seem to have come back a little bit.
A little bit, yeah, in some areas, and it's patchy again. And with the west wind we've seen, it does cause a little bit more problem. And we are still getting reports of red tide offshore as well. Right. And unfortunately, that looks like it's not going away anytime soon. We could, again, use a little bit more wave action around to kick things up a bit and disperse that red tide. That would help. Red tide, not a factor tonight for this particular webcam. This is well away from it, but this is from our ABC, actually the Van Wezel webcam, showing the nice sunset tonight. Just a little bit of clouds off in the distance. Someone said they claimed to have seen the green flash, the famous green flash, little flash of green right below as the sun goes below the horizon. No photos sent in, but some photos of the sunset and some towering cumulonimbus clouds developing just around sunset, looking to our south. This from Norm Schimmel. And Norm, Venice, Susanna gets this a little closer up near the Venice jetty of those storms. And now those storms are bringing rainfall closer to home. Those were down south near Fort Myers and Punta Gorda earlier. They're now into South Sarasota County and moving off to the west. We have some into east of Sarasota as well in Manatee County. Although this line is weakening somewhat, there's still a chance some of this could hold together here and push off to the west. Right now that rain is slowly coming to an end near Englewood. It's pretty heavy earlier, some lightning there, and also near Northport starting to wind down as it heads toward Venice and the Venetian. Look for a pretty good light show offshore with water temperatures in the upper 80s there. We're going to see those storms maybe fire up a little bit more as they head out to the west. Some rain just to the west of Warren Mineral Springs. Near Myakka City, Myakka Head pushing off to the west. Now, if they do hold together, these will be the times that they may have an impact on your neighborhood. I don't think it's going to go to everyone here, but if we do, it will be a little late. Actually, 1:44 in the morning, we could see some rain near Bradenton. Well, they're seeing the rain now. It's heavy, too. The system itself, Florence, is now just a remnant low, bringing some moderate to heavy rainfall at times across parts of Pennsylvania, especially into Virginia tonight. As I mentioned earlier, a tornado moved through Richmond, Virginia, killing one and injuring another. This is another system that we're keeping an eye on, but good news. This is being sheared apart, and the Hurricane Center gives it no chance of developing over the next 5 days. Now, you can see that area is just a broad area of low pressure now. Some heavy rain, though, in Jamaica and up toward the eastern tip of Cuba. Now, the actual remnants, though, will spread off to the west and northwest, we do believe, in time. So even if it were to pop up or something were to develop here in the Gulf of Mexico, it doesn't appear that it would have much of a problem hitting us because we have high pressure that's building in. Now, as far as the season goes, it's been fairly active. In reality, we've had 10 named storms and 5 tropical storms, 5 hurricanes, with 1 major hurricane being Florence, Category 4 hurricane. Now, what we are looking for, if you look at the normal kind of season, from September 17th through the end, there's usually 5 more storms, 1 major hurricane. And if we were to see 5 more storms, it would be considered an active hurricane season. So we'll see how it goes. But the next name is Kirk, followed by Leslie, and then Michael. Well, some dry air and upper level low spinning right here. Not a concern as far as the tropics go, but we do have this dry air in place just to the east of the Bahamas. It's going to stay there, too, I think. It's going to kind of wrap around this low pressure area off into the distance there. Temperatures are into the 80s. It's warm. There's still plenty of heat for these storms to develop, but we are expecting low temperatures to be a little bit above average. The forecast looks like this. For us tomorrow, we'll see showers scattered about in the afternoon and evening, and then pushing off toward the west late in the afternoon and evening. Now, the current conditions, we have 83, feels like 91 out there. The high today warmed to 90, just 1 degree above average. So for boaters tomorrow, looks like this. Winds will be out of the east-southeast, switching to the west-northwest, and a light chop on the bays and inland waters. The extended forecast, a slight chance for late-day storms tomorrow. And we get into that afternoon and evening pattern through Friday. Saturday, not as many, but still a chance for a few scattered storms. Jacqueline?
Bob, thank you. 32 people are now dead in the aftermath of what is now just the remnants of Hurricane Florence, including several children. Flooding in some areas worsening, and rescues continue tonight. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is in Wilmington, North Carolina, following the latest developments.
Florence's devastating aftermath intensifying. Tornadoes tearing through communities like this one in Richmond, Virginia. Rivers swelling, some to record levels, sending floodwaters surging over roadways, overtaking entire communities. More than 4,300 homes damaged or destroyed in New Bern, North Carolina alone. 300 pets.
Come on, puppy. I know it might be a little scary, but we got you. We're gonna take care of you, okay?
And more than 2,500 people rescued across the state.
LA County Fire Department, sir.
This man pulled from his nearly submerged SUV. Our station WTVD there as 4 people, including a Marine, had to be saved from this Humvee. Rescuers, though, unable to get to 1-year-old Caden Lee Welch in time. In the raging floodwater, his mother losing her grip on him after her car was swept away.
I know I was hydroplaning. I was trying to do everything I could. And it just got worse when, water just get into your car. You start to panic, you start to freak, you think you're sinking fast. Everything just happened too fast.
And it is still a dangerous situation in some of these communities, with several rivers expected to keep rising, potentially into the weekend. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Wilmington, North Carolina.
President Trump making classified documents public today related to the early days of the FBI's Russia investigation. Those documents include portions of a secret surveillance warrant and former FBI Director James Comey's text messages. Trump making the move in response to calls from his allies in Congress who say they believe the Russia investigation was tainted by anti-Trump bias within the ranks of the FBI and Justice Department. According to a statement, Trump declassified about 20 pages of the warrant obtained under the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act to monitor the communications of former Trump campaign advisor Carter Page and FBI interviews conducted to secure that warrant. Happening in Florida, the city of Orlando is standing by its police chief's actions during the Pulse nightclub shooting. City officials are asking a federal judge to dismiss a civil rights lawsuit that accuses Chief Adam Gruller of failing to intervene to stop the 2016 massacre. Authorities say Gruller fired at the gunman from outside of Pulse but did not pursue him inside. The lawsuit claims that it was his job to go inside and kill the shooter, even though it would have risked his life. A motion filed today by Gruller's lawyers say his reaction does not constitute a violation of the victim's rights to due process. The Florida House is investigating the misuse of $38 million in state funding for a building project at the University of Central Florida. The probe will focus on the use of operating funds to build the Trevor Colburn Hall. UCF President Dale Whitaker said that project was under the supervision of William Merck, the school's former chief financial officer who left the school on Thursday. House Speaker Richard Corcoran says he wants to make sure policies and procedures are improved to prevent future incidents. A new report is raising questions about the growing role of charter schools in Florida. Watchdog group Integrity Florida says the state has too many charter schools with too little government oversight. The group says new charter schools are taking away money from traditional public schools. Integrity Florida Research Director Ben Wilcox says charter schools were initially set up to create innovation that could be shared with traditional schools. However, he says many charters are now trying to undercut those traditional schools rather than cooperate with them.
These schools that should be private schools are accessing public funds, and they are giving parents and students more choices, but that choice comes at a cost.
According to the report, almost 20 charter schools close per year due to low enrollment or fiscal mismanagement. Entertainment news is next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Give it up for Sarah Silverman.
It's too loud!
Plus Dave Matthews.
Well, lucky you.
And the Dave Matthews Band. And Jimmy teaches an important lesson.
Do you know where babies come from?
I have an idea. Jimmy Kimmel Live, tonight on ABC.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Helping families with mesothelioma is all we do. My firm has been offering a free book on mesothelioma for over 10 years. Since that time, hundreds of people with mesothelioma have trusted us to represent them. We have local offices throughout the U.S. and there is no risk to you. Mesothelioma really is all we do.
Call us at 1-800-485-6000. That's 1-800-485-6000.
Or go to mesoonlylaw.com.
What do you get when you cross your tired, aching back with this fragile egg? The Egg Sitter Cushion, an amazing new flex cushion that supports your backside and spine so well you can sit on an egg without breaking it. Incredible!
You want me to sit on this egg? Okay. Can't believe I'm doing this. I don't even feel it. It didn't even break? Oh, I was wondering about that. Now that's a good cushion.
The honeycomb design is constructed of Elasticor that absorbs pressure points by collapsing in on itself. That's why even this egg won't break under direct pressure. Now long days at the office will be more comfortable, dinner more enjoyable, and painful car rides a thing of the past. Get your Egg Sitter Support Cushion for just $39.99. It comes with a free non-slip washable cover and our 10-year comfort guarantee. But wait, call right now and you can get a second cushion. Just pay separate fee. Call now.
Call 1-800-232-1564. That's 1-800-232-1564. Call now or go to eggsitter.com. Order now.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
The 2018 Emmys showing tonight, and celebrities took to the red carpet to make more than just fashion statements. Jennifer Lewis of Blackish making a political statement with her Nike sweatshirt. Orphan Black actress Tatiana Maslany wore black pants, a neon yellow top, and a Planned Parenthood pin. Well, actor Richard Gere is set to become a dad again at 69 years old. He and his new wife Alejandra Silva made the announcement on Instagram. The photo included the Dalai Lama touching Silva's belly. Gere has an 18-year-old son with his former wife Carrie Lowell. Silva also has a 5-year-old son with her previous husband. Former Beatles band member Paul McCartney sang "Will You Still Need Me When I'm 64?" but his fans clearly do, and he's 76. McCartney's new album Egypt Station has landed at the #1 spot on Billboard 200. His first #1 album in the United States was his first #1 album in 36 years, excuse me. The album was released earlier this month and sold more than 150,000 copies in its first week. That's a look at entertainment news tonight. We'll have your winning lotto numbers coming up.
Excuse me a minute. Hi, Dad. No, don't try to get up.
Hi, I'm Julie, a right-at-home caregiver. And if I'd been caring for Tom's dad, I would have noticed some dizziness that could lead to balance issues. That's because I'm trained to report any changes in behavior, no matter how small, so Tom could have peace of mind.
We'll be right there. We have to go.
Hey, Tom, you should try Right at Home. They're great for us.
The right care, right at home.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare.
You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
I choose to go to the moon. Yeah. Finally, I can say.
Well, Uzaku Meizawa is the name of the first moon tourist. Tesla CEO Elon Musk making that announcement tonight about the man who will be the first to ride a SpaceX rocket for leisure. Meizawa is one of the richest people in Japan and the founder of clothes retailer Zozo. Well, we are just advancing.
It's a little bit high priced. I guess he can afford it.
I guess so.
Yes.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you right back here tomorrow evening. Have a good one.